You're listening to Rebel Spirituality with me, Sam Goldfinch. Here's the truth. Wisdom doesn't follow rules. So each week we're going to explore what it means to wake up your way so you can live a more peaceful, creative and inspired life no matter your circumstances. It's time to blaze your unique path to truth. Hey my Rebel friends, as many of you will know, I've been writing a lot recently and it seems that there's another long form book that's writing itself. I say another because I actually wrote around 50 or 60,000 words previously, and then had the insight that this is the backbone for the adventures, as I call them, that for part of the programs that I run when I take people through the mystery school, as it's currently called, and things like that. It became the backbone for that. But there's something new that's kind of moving and writing, and there's a lot of writing happening at the moment, as many of you will know if you're following me on Substack. I just think it's, for whatever reason right now, that's the wisest way for me to be communicating, as well as here, of course, the written word and the spoken word. I just love it so much. And it's a powerful medium with which to engage. And I was writing the other day, and it occurred to me that one of the distinctions that I have spoken about, but I want to start talking about more because I think it's important, is the distinction between understanding how our experience works, and that I've spoken about a lot, or understanding how you work, right? And trying to have some form of experience, or in air quotes, the big experience that's finally going to reorganize and make everything perfect, and everything's going to be okay. And I spoke about this in a workshop that I ran a few weeks back, about escaping the self-help seeking hamster wheel energy that sometimes we can get caught in. And I was talking about this seems to be one of the key drivers beneath it is the idea that we need to have some form of special, in air quotes, experience. Now, some people will have heard words like enlightenment or awakening or whatever it might be. And I think one of the issues with that is that we're often conjuring up a concept as to what that means in our head based on the books that we've read, right? Based on people that have had spontaneous experiences where they couldn't come to see the nature of who they really are and the nature of how experience works. I talk a lot about Sid Banks, but I've read hundreds, if not thousands, of teachers' words over the course of the years. And I think it's very easy to read and to kind of conceptualize an idea of what we think might need to happen to us. But if you actually, but very often if you ask people, well, what is that? People will give you a range of different beliefs and opinions around what enlightenment or liberation or freedom or whatever it might be is. And I think the danger of that is that if we're chasing a peak experience in that way, we're in the future, if you like, which of course isn't a place. And when our direction is there, we're very often comparing ourselves against that thing, right? Well, I'm certainly not at the level of this person because I haven't had this experience or that experience, or anger still appears for me, or I still have periods of discomfort or whatever it might be, right? But we can really innocently tie ourselves in knots with that. And it's kind of funny because the irony is that everybody who's had these experiences is, one way or another, the teachers who have really caught sight of something, they're always saying, you've already got this, right? But for your thinking, this is true. I am no better than you. You're already whole. You're already complete. There's just, you're believing in something that's not true. They're all signaling this. And yet many of us have been taught or trained into thinking that it's bad form to consider ourselves one with everything in the same way that we might relate to many of these beings as being one with everything. Like, well, I'm not there though. And we judge ourselves and compare ourselves against what we're not yet. And in doing that, we just fall for a trick, and we're innocently unable to see the inherently whole being we are in this moment. We think we're being humble by saying, well, I'm not that, but actually everything is this one formless appearance, this movement, you're that too. And so whenever we say, I'm not that, it's ego. It's carving. It's something that carves us off, makes us separate. And it isn't true, because any form of separation is an illusion. Like it's not the ultimate truth of who you are. So I think this is an important one to talk about, is chasing the experience, the peak experience, or whatever we've labeled it, however we look towards it, whether it's self-actualization, liberation, enlightenment, awakening, whatever we've called it, right? And however we've framed it. I think when we are chasing that and telling ourselves that we're missing something and we don't have it, it's just the same pattern that's playing out whenever we say that we're lacking something. So for me, I'm with Sid. I talk a lot about Sid because I think his work is really beautiful. But when he said, it's coming to understand your psychological experience, coming to understand how you work, coming to understand the spiritual nature of your psychological experience, that's going to set you free. The truth will set you free, right? So it's not try and get to some point in the future and have some big experience so that then you never experience anger or discount or anything again. No, it's uncover or recognize that truth, and that's what will set you free, regardless of what's appearing or not. So yeah, I will talk about this more. I'm going to expand on this when the book comes out. I don't know when this will be. I'm just kind of writing and putting it out there that there is something coming, but I will talk more to this because I think it's an important one, and I see a lot of people comparing themselves against the concept and then being filled up with a bunch of feelings that don't feel good. And then we continue to repeat innocently the habits that we've been repeating. But ultimately maybe it's time to look in a different direction, because one thing's for sure is that whatever concept we've built up around that, it's not that. It's not that. In many of the traditions, one way or another, they say there will be a time that comes where you'll laugh and you'll realize the cosmic joke of what you've been seeking, and the ultimate irony that part of you that tells you need to find this thing and all that kind of stuff, that's not going to be liberated because it's not who you are. And it's not even an object ultimately. It's an appearance. All right, team. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I'll catch you all soon.